Good morning, class. Today I would like to discuss Hammurabi, in particular an excerpt from his law code. This goes all the way back to ancient history, and I will get to the times and the dates, as well as the location. But I briefly want to say that if you have any questions, please hold them off to the very end, and I will try to answer them as best as I can. If I cannot answer it, I will try to give you resources in order to research it for yourself. Hammurabi lived in ancient times in the land that is known as the Fertile Crescent, or the ancient Middle East, or ancient Near East. Whenever a historian is interpreting or reading or studying a particular text or document in time, you have to ask several questions. When was the text written? And where was the text written? For these will highly determine the way in which this text was interpreted at this point in time. Today we will be going over an excerpt of Hammurabi's Law Code and trying to interpret it as historians. Whenever we look at a particular text written in time, we need to ask, who was the author? Who is this Hammurabi? And why is Hammurabi writing? Is he writing, or is he having other scribes or people writing this for him? And we also need to ask the question, who is the writing for? And to what occasion is happening for the author to write in his or her particular way. So we need to ask the question of authorial intent. What is the intent of the author, and who is the targeted audience as well? So when we're looking about this text, Hammurabi's Law Code, we've seen many different law codes and laws that we are familiar with today, just as people were in the time of Emperor Justinian, in the times of the Roman Empire, and even back to the times of ancient Babylon. Certain laws were erected in ancient times in ancient Babylon on large pieces of stone called stela. They were written in what is called cuneiform and a stylus. These codes, these laws, were written down by the emperor in order for his subjects to follow. And so, with strict consequences if these laws were not followed. And most of the time, especially in ancient times, literacy rates were extremely low. Therefore, most people couldn't write, and if they couldn't read, they most certainly couldn't write. And indeed, most kings could not write, but they still wanted their laws to be written down and to be read or dictated to their subjects. Now I briefly want to go into the actual law code itself, Hammurabi's Law Code, and go into the details in terms of a specific excerpt and how we can interpret it in historical time. Everything that is written down has a particular context, the thoughts of the culture in which it is written, as well as the historical context which remains for us to discover.